All right, guys. So today I want to talk about Flyquest because they have had a couple really cool things happen lately, but they also had a pretty interesting offseason. Even though they didn't end up making any like insane big moves or anything like that, they had a couple different ways that things could have gone and some things that they considered that I at least want to talk about and discuss today. Of course, first, as always, just want to mention real quick that everything we're doing here on Cheap Esports is powered by Holy. So make sure you guys go check out that first link in the description below and use that discount code SE5 to get €5 off your first purchase, or SE10 to get 10% off your entire basket on some Holy. Again, they are great tasting energy drinks that also just so happen to be healthier than the competition, so get some today. It also helps support everything we're doing here at Cheap Esports. So Flyquest, a couple things they've had really cool happen recently is Masu actually won Rookie of the Year at the most recent League Awards. That was pretty cool. And then we also had Inspired winning LCS Player of the Year. Now again, Flyquest is also coming off an LCS championship. They're also coming off a nice little Worlds run where they did make the quarterfinals. They made it all the way to Game 5. They almost made it to the semifinals at Worlds. They had some very cool stuff happening, and now they're looking ahead into 2025 and continue to build off that and to be not only one of the best LCS teams in 2025, but also hopefully have some international success at one of these 3 international tournaments in 2025 and really usher in the new LTA era and show that Flyquest is going to be one of the best teams in the LTA, one of the best teams between North and South America and all this stuff. Now, we also got this from Flyquest a couple days ago where they said time for the coaches run back, and they announced their coaching staff for next season where they're bringing everybody back. They're running things back. Obviously, the coaching staff, people are very high on from last year. I'm sure most people think they did a good job. Again, they did good at Worlds. They did good towards the end of the year. Obviously, this Flyquest team is very talented, but they had interesting drafts, good strategies. They were able to pull things off. They did a lot of cool things. But yes, Nuke Duck, Arrow, Damonte, and Mithy going to be the coaching staff running this back for 2024. But also, the Flyquest team in general is running things back. We do have this Sheep Esports article. This was posted a while ago, but actually the day we posted this, I was like really sick, couldn't get out of bed, so I didn't get to cover this at the time, so I still wanted to present this article to you guys at a certain opportunity when it did pop up. So from what we said in the middle of November, sources, Flyquest was set to retain their entire roster for the 2025 season. But again, in this article, I know sometimes people only read the headlines or just look at the tweets and don't dive into the article, but in this article it talks about much more and things that Flyquest could have done or considered doing this offseason as well, which I do think is pretty interesting, and some of the massive changes that we almost saw or could have seen Flyquest make. So Fly is going to retain their 5 players and coaching staff, aiming for the title in the new LTA League. Flyquest is set to retain their entire roster and coaching staff for the upcoming season. After a historic year, winning their first title, breaking records, and taking fans on an emotional journey, the organization has decided to build on the foundations of their successful 2024 season as they make their LTA debut. Flyquest had an incredible year of growth and achievement in 2024. The team started strong, finished second in the spring split, and after changing their mid laner mid-season, they set the stage for what would become a historic summer. In the summer split, they captured the organization's first ever title by defeating Team Liquid, an undefeated squad throughout the split. This victory solidified their position as a dominant force in the region and qualified them for the organization's second Worlds ever. Now, again, I would argue maybe even their Worlds run really solidified them in the hearts and minds of a lot of people, because I think even coming into Worlds, people are like, oh yeah, Flyquest won, but obviously there's some weird stuff going on, some backdooring, whatever. But Team Liquid's still the best NA team. They're going to go probably have the best showing at Worlds, but no, Flyquest proved at Worlds that they were the best NA team as well. Again, not only winning the championship, but making it to quarterfinals and almost making it to semifinals at Worlds, really kind of reminding people that no, hey, we are actually the best team in the LCS. Maybe the meta was right for them, maybe the patch was right for them, whatever, but still, they backed up their results at Worlds from their summer split run as well. On the international stage, Flyquest shown as the best team from North America and proved themselves to be one of the strongest Western representatives at Worlds. They're the only Western team to make it to the quarterfinals, delivering an unforgettable series against tournament favorites Gen G, pushing the Korean powerhouse to a nail-biting Game 5. Flyquest showcased a unique and exciting style of play, proving their ability to compete with the world's elite. Though they ultimately fell short, their performance significantly elevated the organization's reputation. The team, while not without flaws, excels at leveraging its strengths and has carved out a unique identity. Their playstyle revolves around the vocal leadership of Whippo, the mastery of Inspired, and the mechanical precision of Quad and Masu, widely regarded as one of the best rookies worldwide this year in the bot lane. Paired with the reliability and creativity of Busio, their flexibility enables them to make bold decisions in drafts and in-game. But again, running this roster back almost didn't happen, and that's what we do need to talk about. Now, some of this stuff we have already reported on and already covered in videos and stuff like that. Some of this might be some new information. This offseason, however, brought some uncertainty. Flyquest explored the idea of building a 6-man roster, considering the addition of Surdy. Again, Surdy is a really, really highly touted tier 2 prospect in the LCS. This guy's kind of seen as like the next big prospect that a lot of people were calling for and asking for to get an opportunity in the top lane in the LCS. But again, obviously Flyquest has Bwipo up there, and Bwipo was a huge part of Flyquest's success. I think he gave them a ton of draft flexibility and really gave people a nightmare of stuff to prepare for. I know Bwipo sometimes was a beast, sometimes ran it down, sometimes looked like he was inting, trolling, whatever. But again, he was playing a ton of champions, playing a ton of unique, crazy picks, and also taking a lot of the pressure sometimes off of some of the younger players like Masu and Busio and guys like that. So yeah, Surdy could definitely come in and be a beast, but also at the same time, he has big shoes to fill on this Flyquest team specifically, because not only was Bwipo's leadership a big thing, but kind of his crazy playstyle and unique champion pool was also a big part, I think, of what Flyquest was able to do in drafts and stuff like that. So they did consider the 6-man roster with Surdy, but obviously that didn't work out. Surdy eventually leaves Flyquest and goes to Dignitas. They also entertained the bold notion of moving star player Jojo Pune to the top lane. According to the team's general manager, Andy Barton, the plan was to pair Bwipo's experience with Jojo Pune's talent with Bwipo as a positional coach. And here we have that tweet from Andy Barton. He says, throughout the year, Bwipo and I had extended conversation about what is next in his career and his ability to coach and potentially transform any player. Post-Worlds, my intention was to speak with Bwipo about moving into the positional coaching staff. We gotta wait for this tweet to load now. Was moving into the positional coaching staff and specifically be a positional coach to Jojo. I wanted to give him what I believe can be one of the greatest NA players I've worked with. Jojo did not choose to go down this pathway with us, similar to Potter from Valorant. I believe Bwipo has the capabilities to become an elite coach. So again, this was very, very possible that they were going to kind of remove Bwipo, put Jojo into the top lane, and actually have Bwipo become a coach for them. Now again, I don't know how interested Bwipo would have been in that or whatever. It sounds like Andy Barton and Bwipo have obviously talked about this extensively, but this is a little bit strange to me that they were like, oh, we almost asked Bwipo to be a coach and kicked him, but instead he's going to be our starting top laner for next season. So it's like, oh, do you believe in Bwipo? Do you not believe in Bwipo? Does Bwipo want to be a player, a coach, whatever? Like, Bwipo wants to play, but he was just going to randomly let Jojo take his spot and he was going to coach him. Like, I don't know. Something seems a little bit off about this. Something doesn't make a ton of sense. I hope Bwipo still has that fire, still has that desire to, be a strong player in 2025, because again, if he's like has one foot out the door and is maybe considering a coaching job, then this could be a little bit weird. And also, if Flyquest maybe tried to replace him and he's not happy with that could be a little bit weird as well. You never know. But I do hope that everything is good with Flyquest and Bwipo and their relationships and everything like that. Obviously, Jojo Pune chose to remain a mid laner and eventually moved to Mad Lions Koi, and the roster plan shifted accordingly. The news of Flyquest re-signing their entire roster follows confirmation that Nuke Duck and Mithy will remain part of the coaching staff. Flyquest retaining their team next play with a clear goal: secure the first title in LTA history. The team is setting its sights on another impressive performance at Worlds, now embracing their role as regional favorites. And again, when you do come in as the favorites, there's new pressure, there's new expectations. Sometimes people live up to that, sometimes people fall short. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, the LTA is going to be a little bit different than the LTS, and it's not only Flyquest trying to go and do damage at Worlds and compete for a world title, but there's also going to be competition against South America this year. There's going to be the new international tournament. There's going to be Fearless Draft. There's going to be all kinds of new challenges and stuff like that for Flyquest this year. We'll have to see how this roster lives up to them. But again, on paper, this team and coaching staff and lineup and everyone running it back should be pretty fun, should be pretty crazy. But again, there was almost some very, very massive changes. A couple different roads that Flyquest almost went down where things could have been very, very different in 2025. But this is where we ended up. Pretty much every video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.